wouldn't it be nice if you were in survival and you were at bedrock level? In this case, we're actually at Y level 4, and you wanted to go up, but you didn't want to go up right away, and you had other stuff that you needed to do underground. And what if there's a way that you could just set yourself to go up whenever you felt like, just at the push of a button, without using commands or cheats of any kind? Well, there actually is a way you can do that as of the latest snapshot for 1.16.2. If we sit here for a moment, we should see this redstone lamp turn on, and then I'll show you some magic. And no, it's not command block magic, it's not cheat magic, it's actually a feature now. Ah yes, that lamp turned on. Let's just push this button, and we're at the surface. Oh my gosh, that's so magical. I wonder how that happened. Well, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make an ender pearl elevator that you can activate whenever you want. All you have to do is throw an ender pearl up a water column, and then you can just leave it and come back at any time, push one button, and get teleported instantly to the surface. So you're probably wondering how this works. Well, in this newest snapshot, entities that you throw, for example, this also works with snowballs and eggs and stuff like that. If you throw it like that, it's gonna go through the column. If you throw it really hard at the bottom, it might still make it to the bottom. But if we throw it into the column of bubbles, it will go to the very top, as you can see, just like that. And the same is true for ender pearls. And also, those items will sit there and they won't go anywhere until they hit a block. So if you throw an ender pearl here, then that ender pearl is going to sit right there and bounce until it hits a block. If we were to go like this, I would get instantly teleported to that block. And this principle actually works with water columns flowing down. However, it drags the entities into the block that obviously is creating the column. So actually, that went out of the columns. If we were to throw this into that bubble column, you'll see that it gets dragged right down there and you get teleported. So that's not terribly useful. However, when it's going up, the item entity will just bounce, or the projectile entity will just bounce in the water and it won't go away. This means that if you go right here, you throw an ender pearl into that water stream, then that ender pearl is just going to go up the water stream. What? Why am I stuck? Thank you. And you'll see that it comes out right up here, and it will trigger that tripwire twice. As you can see, it triggered it one time when it first hit it and one time when it left. And then that ender pearl will just remain bouncing there. And the way this works is that that triggering of the tripwire will have made this lamp turn on down here, because, well, there's some fancy redstone here that I'll be showing you how to build in a moment that makes that work. But if I push this button here, we'll get teleported to the top, and you'll notice that there was a piston that got extended and then got retracted so that the ender pearl could land. And if we come down here, you'll notice that that lamp is turned off. The system deactivated itself. And basically what you could do with this is, if you want to go down really far, like a mine shaft or something, you could just drop down into some water, and then you could just put an ender pearl in a water column like this and have it go to the surface. You could go mining, you could do whatever you want, and then just with the push of a button you can get instantly teleported back to the surface. And this works across any distance vertically. It doesn't have to be a long distance. But now I'm actually going to show you how to build this for yourselves, and it's pretty simple. Doesn't require all that many resources. So let's go a little ways over here. This should be a good spot, and you're going to want to start with some stairs. You're going to place stair like that, and you're going to place a stair like that, and then here in the middle you're going to drill a hole, or this would be placed around a hole all the way down as far as you want. We're not going to go to bedrock because, well, we don't need to demonstrate this. And you can now put water there, and then you're going to want to fill this up with kelp so that it all becomes water source blocks. And once you have the kelp in, you can get rid of it, and you can come down here and you can place in soul sand. And you're going to then have, well, you could build this however big you want. You could have fence gates or like signs or something else that you can walk through but keeps water out like this. And now obviously we can make a room here and all that stuff. Now that we have a little room here just for the purpose of showing you this, you can go ahead, you can make a second, like, just drop area. You can just make a second hole to the surface that you can drop down to actually get down there, or you could have this be in a completely different place from how you actually get down to wherever you're going. It doesn't have to be in the same spot, but just for the sake of convenience for this, we're gonna make it the same spot. And so now coming up here, you're just gonna take some blocks. You can pretty much, after a certain point here, just build this however you want. There's always a few things that you have to have. It has to be at least 2 blocks tall so that you can put tripwire hooks here, here, and then get string and put the string in the middle, just like that. Next, you're gonna get an observer, and you are gonna place the observer right here, facing upward. And this is what's actually gonna be triggering the detection system down at the bottom of this machine. And over and around here, you're gonna have to put a piston, a sticky piston, and then another block. And let's see, we'll replace those with stone bricks. And so this is actually a little bit difficult to place in. You know what, we're gonna place in our sticky piston right here like that, and then the block in the back. Now you can go ahead and place redstone up there, and then you can put 2 redstone lines down at the bottom, and then you can take a repeater, place it there and set it to the max tick setting. And then here you're gonna want to make another just shaft, I guess, all the way to the bottom of this area here. And actually, oh, it's actually perfect. Okay, cool. And so here is the area where you're actually gonna have the activation method. So gonna have a button here, and then you're just gonna have redstone torches. And you might have something slightly different at the top depending on the redstone torch tower, because the redstone torch tower is just determined by how deep it goes. So you're gonna make just a standard torch tower all the way to the surface like this. And when you get up to here, looks like this worked out fine. So normally you'd want the very top torch to be depowered, and actually it looks like it is gonna be depowered, so that's good. So the very top torch needs to be depowered when there's no redstone signal at the bottom from that button. But if we put an ender pearl up there, and if we wait for a second, because it's not a very tall elevator, we should just be able to push that now, and we are gonna get teleported straight to the top. So that all is working correctly. Now we actually just need to add in the circuitry for the detection system. You technically don't have to add this part, but if you want to actually be able to tell when there's an ender pearl up there and when you can push the button to go and get teleported to the top, this is super helpful. So first you're going to start by making one more hole going down from these observers. And are we above or below? Okay, that was too high up. It's kind of hard to tell. You're going to have to probably just write down the wide coordinate of where you actually are. But anyways, these observers are going to go all the way down, and they're all going to be facing upwards. So that it creates basically an observer chain that goes down. So you're going to need to clear a decent room here so that we actually have some room to work and aren't incredibly cramped. So you're going to bring the observers down this far, and then you're going to put a block right there, and you're going to put a repeater on top of it. And then you're going to need to get a sticky piston, place it right here, and we're making a monostable circuit, which is how this thing actually, well, gets triggered just by the one pulse instead of a constant pulse. So you're going to also have a repeater at the back here, and then you're going to put a sticky piston there with a redstone block on the end of it like that. Now let's extend this room a little bit more over in this direction, and now you're going to take a block and you're going to put it one block from this redstone block right here. You're going to place a torch on it, then you're going to go ahead and get a dropper, and you're going to place the dropper right there facing that direction. You're going to place a hopper facing into it, and you're going to want to put one item into that hopper. And then back here you're going to take a comparator, you're going to attach it to a repeater. And now you're just going to need to run a redstone wire from that repeater over to this lamp over here so that it actually gets powered. So now if this item were to go into here, the redstone lamp would turn on, and that means it's all working. So then you're going to place another block up there like that, and you're going to have a redstone torch on it like that. And that's actually a silly mistake. This needed to be a block, not an observer. So let's reset this thing. So we'll push that, and we're going to get teleported up to here. And now we can go back down. And yeah, if something gets messed up, it may become out of sync, in which case you'll just want to move that redstone block over so that it goes back into sync. But now, if we were to throw an ender pearl up there, we should see this all working. So if we come over here, we should get a signal. Yep. And that'll fire. That redstone block is now over here, which means that this thing is giving off a signal. And the cool thing about this is that when this resets, it will just take that redstone block back, which will enable this torch to repower, and it will send a pulse to this dropper, and it will just put it back into here so that the lamp turns off. And so if we push that, we're gonna get sent up here. If we go down here, that lamp turns off. Excellent. And it completely reset itself, and that is how you build the on-demand ender pearl elevator. So this, I think, is going to be a really cool piece of just machinery, I guess, or circuitry to have in your base, especially if you want to go a long distance vertically. And now we're down here again, which means we should just push that button and we don't have to do anything except go back up to the top. Occasionally you might get put in the block and then go down for a second, depending on how high the ender pearl was in terms of its bouncing when it got activated. But other than that, it works really well. Like I said, if something gets out of sync down here with the lamps, like that actually may have made that go out of sync. Yeah, it did. So you can just move that redstone block back to reset the indicator. But that's about it for this tutorial. Just a quick tutorial. I thought I'd share this with you because I got excited about this when I heard about this in the new snapshot and saw this feature. Although it's not the only exciting thing in the new snapshots. I'm pretty sure that chains can finally be placed horizontally. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Excellent. Been waiting for that for a while. That's going to be so good. But anyways, that's the end of this tutorial. And I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative or useful. I'll probably build some of these in my base when 1.16.2 finally releases in its full release. But be sure to leave a like and a sub and turn those notifications on so as not to miss out on future videos and live streams and all that good stuff. And also, if you're interested, you can come join my Discord server. The link is down in the description. You can come hang out. But I've been Speeve. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video or live stream. Bye.